Oh, hi, Robin. It's lovely to have you on today of our webinar. It's the first one we've really done of Western Australia in a long while. So, little, brief introduction. I am Kensley Oxley. I'm the BDM for Inspection Express and specifically just for the state of WA. I come from a real estate background, 10 years in property management, long time user of Inspection Express slash converted sales rep. And today I am welcoming on actually a good close friend here in WA, Robin from Loop Leasing. And Robin is going to hopefully share some insights on how she's started using Inspection Express within her business. Robin,
Thanks,
if you
Kim.
just want to tell everyone joining who you are, what you're up to.
So yeah, me and Kensley became friends because I love Inspection Express. So pretty much like I kind of use her to kind of help me with Inspection Express all the time. It's absolutely great. So if you ever want a good friend, then definitely get Kensley to be a mate because Inspection Express has completely changed my business. And yeah, it's been brilliant. I have been working in real estate for about 8 years. 6 of them have been in property management. Now, I think I come from a sales background, and I think that initially I sort of thought about Inspection Express as sort of a salesy thing, but actually it's been helping so much in our business in other ways as well. I work with different companies. I've worked with small agencies, big agencies, and I think it would benefit all of them. And yeah, really excited to share what we've got today.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Robin. Just letting anyone that listening in, Robin and I are very close friends, and why we get along so well is sometimes we talk a little bit too quickly. So we will allow some questions at the end. If you need us to expand on any of that, just put your questions in through us chatting here today, and I'll allow some time to answer any questions, and you can ask either myself or Robin those questions along the way. So basically, we've both been around the traps for a long time, Robin. So we have seen actually massive change in the real estate industry over the last 10 years, particularly maybe the last 5 years post-COVID, and where we've seen a lot of automation coming into the office. How do you see that agencies have kind of changed over that last 5 years, Robin?
Well, I think if you're doing a final bond inspection with a property condition report that was done 5, 6 years ago, then that's a telltale sign to how much the industry has changed. Although there is some agencies that are stuck in the past, but I think that the rules have tightened up a little bit, and it's sort of on the tenant side a bit too much now that we do need to be a bit more detailed when it comes to those property condition reports, just to make sure that we are spotting absolutely everything. And the other thing is that you have a changeover of property managers. Like, it is a high turnover industry. You might have a new property manager on that property every year, and unfortunately the new property manager that comes in is walking in and hasn't got a Scooby-Doo like what the property looked like when they first moved in, unless they went through like a gazillion photos. So and if the photos were shocking, or they can't find the photos because they're saved on some other drive or whatever it is, it's just a bit of a nightmare. So yeah, I think the industry's definitely changed. It used to just be sort of you take photos on your phone and then you upload them or whatever it is, and used to have the paper form property condition reports, which was crazy, and everyone would be fighting over the computer on Friday. But and you had photos that are like this big on your property condition reports, you couldn't even read. But yeah, I think it's definitely changed, and we've had to sort of adapt to the rules, and the court's getting a little bit more stricter on, I guess, landlords.
Yeah, definitely. And also to obviously specific to WA, we've seen a massive influx of investors in the market, kind of seeing a cool off now, which you'd probably agree. So a lot of landlords who haven't even seen these properties either. So how have you combated that, because you're in a growth phase in your business, is that right?
Yeah, it definitely works for that. And I think going back just a step to property managers, I think the one thing that I've seen as a director in the company and hiring staff is the fact is that over the last 5 years, people have gone from end-to-end management to pod system management. And it's like, this person does the property condition report, or you outsource it. This person does the routines. This person does the maintenance. And like, how is someone supposed to understand which wall is what, like what's going on in the property, like the whole like aspect of the property? Even myself that might go into the properties, like how do you remember every single nook and cranny of a property? You can't. So I think the
Yeah.
pod system mentality, it works really, really well for those offices that are doing pod system, because it allows you to, like senior property managers who may just do maintenance where they've got a portfolio of 300, to be able to actually physically see the properties. But it also shows investors, like new investors, they buy this property and they see these beautiful photos online. Like, it doesn't look like that. Like, it looks, it's probably been 2 months till summer. The lawns are shocking. The lawns are dead. Like, they've
Mm-hmm.
covered up the like walls with furniture, so you can't see that there's like a massive punch hole in the wall or whatever it is.
Mm.
So I think
Yeah.
for investors, and getting them to spend money, like especially these new investors that have never owned a property before, they think they're just going to own it and then they don't have to spend any money. It really
Mm.
will show why they have to spend the money as well.
Yeah, totally. So not only are we talking about the PCRs, we've obviously moved into a digital age as well. So, our trust software is now off servers and cloud-based. I think we did that jump quite well. And, we're trying to keep everything open. So, having a good trust software, I think that's what you've locked down. And then obviously that was your first priority in starting your business. And then the second bit is, how do you open that inspection part over? Just moving into that. So if we're moving into the automation and, trust is easy, but what was the second biggest time pinch for your business? Is it because you're growing its property condition reports? Is that
Yeah,
why you looked
look,
at Inspection Express to begin with?
yeah, in Inspection Express, the reason why I wanted to use it is because of the 360. It's a massive point of difference. And like I said, it was initially very much for me a sales point of view to why I wanted to use it. However, it saved us so much money. So I feel we don't outsource. And the way that I run my business is that a property condition report on a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom brand new home takes less than an hour to do. You take your photos. I take it in the certain areas, and the reason being is because the AI works a little bit better, and also it's easier to find stuff. But also, it's really good for the fact that the property manager gets to see it. But instead of paying $500 for a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom to be done by an outsourced company, the way I do it is I incentivize my staff. If they're doing a home open, if they go and do the property condition report the same time as they do the home open, meaning that I'm saving on labor, I'm saving on of them going back and forth to the property, I'm saving on the fact that we don't have to pay petrol twice, because petrol's expensive, like 2 trips.
Mm.
So I'm saving on labor costs within my business. So I give all of my property managers $100 if they do it at the same time as they're doing something else. And we just don't outsource, because we take all our photos. We might write a few notes of whatever it is, if things need doing or whatever it is. But like, apart from that, it's a case of you go back to the office, you click generate AI comments, and the fact is you can move it around and go through the report the same way as you would if it was outsourced, because you still go through your outsourced inspections and you're like, oh no, I don't like that language, I don't like this. So like, it's so easy. It cuts the time down by hours, and also is saving us, like, quite literally thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars by using this system.
Yeah. I like to say as well, I don't think many people know, but when you're creating those property condition reports, once you finalize them, and I think you utilize this quite well, knowing you, once you finalize them, you would also then throw them up for a marketing tour. So sometimes you would go out, do the 360, finalize it, chuck it on the marketing tour, and then generate closer to the lease start date or whenever you secured that tenant. Is that right? So you did 2 for
Exactly.
1, basically.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
remember, we work for the landlord, right? So our
Mm.
job is to get as many applications at the best possible price for that landlord. We're trying to get the best tenant in the lowest time frame for the highest price. And to be able to do that when you're opening at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday, which personally I don't agree with, but if you do, and that's what you do as an agency, you're not going to, in
Mm.
my opinion, get the best possible applicants, but you could be sending everybody the marketing virtual tour, and if they're successful, you can organize a private viewing or whatever you want to do for that potential applicant at a time that suits them. It just means you're going to get more applications for your landlords as well as.
Yeah, yeah, and you're capturing the market there. So I think that we are all over creating that property condition report. And I just wanted to ask you, Robin, I would love to pick your brains how else you're using the 360 to save time and work smarter, not harder, within your business. Can you share your little insight about how you're helping it with your maintenance?
Yes. So I am lazy in the best possible way, and I'm proud of it. So I will share my screen and I'll get that off there. Can you see, which screen can you see?
Yep, just the one with all your Loom videos in the tab. So
yeah, okay, perfect.
yep.
So my maintenance people absolutely love me. So I have found a way to be able to, I'm gonna get my voice off this, but basically at this property, I was trying to get those bricks there that are in the corner. And the owner wants to get rid of the wooden, like the timber around the garden bed. So I was explaining to this contractor, I want to get rid of this and put those bricks in that area there and get rid of those. And I was explaining like how to do it, what I want done. And it just makes it really easy to get multiple quotes for stuff. It makes it really like easy for a contract to be able to see exactly what you want, so they love you for it. And it also, if you're trying to explain to an owner, say for example this was to an owner that maybe haven't seen the property before and you want to get stuff done, like it's just a really good way to kind of, so I don't know what I was doing there, I think I was explaining a blind or something there, but you know, that is just a really good way of being able to explain to an owner what needs doing. So this one, for example, I was explaining, you know, what needed doing in the property. So I was saying, oh, yep, there's like ivy growing up the thing, and we need to do this because the roof is leaking and blah, blah, blah. But by me being able to send that owner a video that's actually never seen the property, like, yes, okay, they can see the 360, they can see the photos, but like this owner in particular was like, no, it's all fine, nothing needs doing. And it's like, it does. And this just makes it really easy to be able to explain what needs doing, but also for them to, you know, get their own quotes or, you know, speak to their own people, get their own opinions, that kind of thing. So yeah, I love it for that. And it just makes it super transparent, like for everybody involved, and just gets things moving quicker, because getting a quote for this, like, I don't know about you guys, but I have found, like, especially roofing contractors, all they want to do is work on new builds at the moment. They don't want to work on this. They like couldn't, are too hard, you know? Why would they want to work on this, work on a new build? So by having this, it makes it really easy to explain stuff. Yeah, I absolutely love it, because normally you just get a photo like that. You wouldn't actually get exactly where it is, what's happening, what's made it go like that. Like, it's really, really, and possums were getting in the roof, so we were like trying to explain where the possums are and whatever. So yeah, it's absolutely brilliant for that.
So just covering, I haven't seen any questions. Yeah, in a second. And I just was covering, I haven't gone through, seen any questions, but what Robin is basically done, she's gone out, completed her inspection, finalized the inspection express, jumped on her desktop back in the office and jumped on Loom. So she's basically just screen recorded her inspection, talking over it. It creates a shareable link and shares with any interested parties, landlords, contractors, things like that. So the little add-on there is Loom. If anyone hasn't heard of Loom, it is amazing. But another question I wanted to divulge is, because we haven't seen a lot of 360s go through the court system yet in Western Australia. And so Robin was also maybe one of the first I've heard around in WA, and used 360 for the entry and the routine. Robin, do you mind sharing just your little case study about this property?
Yeah, so this was a fun one. So basically I had hoarders in a property, and the council got involved, and they were going to issue $250,000 fines, etc. So I basically literally, like, courts don't want pages and pages of documents, they just want what's going on, what's this, what's that. So I literally created this video as a loom. I also like had photos and things as well as like, you know, beginning end, and I just had it in one page Word document, start finish. I think it was like start routine and the second routine, and then I also then created a video that went with it. So this was before the tenant moved in, so as you can see, it's all green and nice and beautiful. And then this was after. So this is our first routine inspection. They turned the backyard into a bit of a racetrack. That was also fun. I'll try and like, yeah. So I use this in court to basically say this was the garden before, and now it's a racetrack. So see that? Yep. Oh, that's not the one. It was, yeah. There we go. So yeah, that was really good, and it was also really good because we were getting quotes for like removal of this stuff too. So it was really easy for me to send that to contractors to be like, how much do you reckon that that's going to cost to get rid of all this stuff? Because that was the thing. So I was like, abandoned goods, like obviously that's abandoned goods, but like how am I supposed to know what all this stuff costs? But by having this loop video, just really good for them to be able to be like, that's like $70,000 job. Like there's not 70 grand's worth of stuff there. Like definitely, you know, I think. So yeah, it was yeah, really, really good for that.
Yeah. And then post that, I believe the tenants are now out. You've been awarded. Did you have any insurance claim, or did the landlord have insurance? Are you going through that route? I hadn't asked you yet.
Actually don't need to. So basically, I had a really good relationship with the tenants, and it was really good using this video system for the tenants as well to be like, this is what it was before and this is what it is now. Like it's very black and white, you know, but honestly, they actually ended up being quite good tenants. They vacated, all they left was like a pile of like metal and like branches and things like that, really nothing major. They cleaned the property the same way that they moved, and they got their full bond back. So surprisingly, like really, they actually should just have been on a rural property. They actually weren't the worst people. It looks really bad, but like it actually isn't bad on like a rural kind of property, but this ain't no rural property.
Yeah. No, that's right. And I think that was a fantastic result. And so you said that the member viewed your video when presenting. Yeah, fantastic. So where you see this working for your business, because you are rapidly growing, and I remember you being very early stages, being a one-man band, and that property actually just showed me that your assistant did the routine inspection initially. Do you find that like having that 360, the visibility as a senior sitting in their licensee, that you're more confident now seeing your properties?
Absolutely, yeah. Look, how I manage it is that we now have 2 seniors, which is brilliant. Like I don't need to micromanage or anything them. And our assistant, like, I don't actually need to micromanage her either. She's actually brilliant. But at the start, it was kind of like we were like ducks in water, and I was like, oh my God. And that, you know, to be able to do our routine things, I needed her to go to them. And quite frankly, I don't feel like she was trained enough for a routine. But the good thing was is that I was able to use that 360 to look through her reports and go, oh, I can see this, I can see that, and be able to cross-reference things. And to be fair, she's absolutely brilliant. She didn't miss much, but in the same breath, like it just made me feel a lot more confident that I could see the property as well, and so could the landlord, you know. So I think that a lot of those pod system companies that aren't using 360, it's really not that expensive. If you think about your labor cost, how much you pay in labor, that's what you worry. I think people worry a lot about, oh, it costs an extra 20 grand a year to have like this 360 software when you've got a couple of thousand properties, right? Yes, 100% get it. But that's only like what, $1,500 a month. And how much more are you paying for outsourcing? How much more are you paying for your staff spending 4 hours instead of 1? How much more are you paying for your seniors to have to do it because your assistants can't do it? Like, I think that's the dollar figure that you need to work out, because honestly, like we're saving so much money from using this software, and it's not actually the cost that it doesn't even come into it. Like when the AI came out, I was like, oh really, is that how much it costs? It was like $1. Was it like a 1 cent or 2 cents.
$5 increase on yours. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was like
Because
five
you were only
increase
small at the time.
my whole
Yeah.
portfolio to have AI. I was like,
Mm.
oh, okay, tick the box. It's really not
Yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah. And just following on for the AI, you were part of the AI generation workshop. We released that, May last year, Eric, was it? And how have you found it? Any tips, tricks for your AI, as we've moved along the year?
Yeah, so I actually don't take everything in the overalls. I know that it's quicker to take everything in the overalls, but there's a couple of reasons. One
Mm-hmm.
being, we're all human and we make errors. So even if you're taking everything in the overalls, you're probably going to forget something. So, like, I think everybody shouldn't be taking it in the overalls anyway. Second of all,
Mm-hmm.
the AI works a lot better if you don't take it all in the overalls. And say, for example, it hasn't got skirtings, you literally just don't take photos in the skirting. So when you come back to the office, it makes generation easy because then you can just delete out the areas easily. Because if you're doing a
Yeah.
bathroom, for example, and you've got no toilet in that bathroom and it's like a separate toilet, then if you don't take a photo of it, you can easily go, oh, yeah, okay, there's no photo in that bathroom, delete area, and it's done.
Yeah.
So I guess you might spend an extra 10 minutes at the property, but it saves like an hour when you get outside the property, in my opinion.
Yeah, totally. My tip has been, I've done a little bit of training just recently on the AI generation. Setting up your template as well has been a good thing. We all love to have a specific flow and layout and template. One thing Inspection Express obviously has always really done well is those template layouts, but those subcategory areas. So the AI is only as good as you give it its prompts. So for example, if you wanted to describe a door to a room and you wanted to include the frames, the door handle, have that in your description, and then AI will generate that. For example, again, if we were talking about curtains and blinds, but you also wanted to include blind cords, just have a dash and put blind cords or cords, and AI will do its best as well. So that was my hot little tip as well. So bulk out your template. Yeah. And then you'll get some better generation. So have your photos in that subcategory as well as how you want it to prompt as well. So those are just some of my little tips that I've picked up along the way. As we said, we never had AI to be 100% of the report, but at least to get you that bones there, that 90%, and just reduce that time. So how long did you say you're spending on maybe a 4x2 property? This is a question I get asked all the time, Robin.
4x2 brand new, like 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
I'd say 4x2 that's older, you're probably talking an hour and a half, but like that's just because there's always problems. So yeah, I think the longest that you should be, we've got a massive house that was like 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 4 living areas, yada yada yada. I think that maybe took like, I don't think it took 2 hours. I think he took like an hour and 45. That was Blake. Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah. Yeah. And then interestingly enough, I just actually had this question pop up with another office this morning. 360 images for routine inspections. Pro,
Yeah.
con, feedback?
Pro.
Yep.
Good, yeah.
Pro.
So I use it for 360. It has blurring and things like that in there. So it blurs out like faces and like any fridge and things like that. So we check that before we send out our routine. So yeah, like if it's got bill on the fridge and things like that. But it like saves you so much. Like you're gonna take photos anyway of stuff. Do you know what I mean? What difference does it make? I think especially with lawns, I did one recently where I was able to do lawns like before and after and in the routines and things. Like it just makes it really good.
Yeah.
And a walk experience, I think maybe not everyone needs to be 360. So if you know the 360 camera, like, you've done 10 inspections in a day and it dies that day, like, that your battery's gone at the end of the day.
Yeah.
As long as you haven't as long as you've got a routine of the last one that's got a 360, I think it's not like it's fine. But yeah, I definitely pro routines because it shows transparency side by side. It's really easy. Like that service, that property that I just showed you, I had routines with 360 and I was able to then showcase the difference.
Yeah, fantastic. And you don't have to tell me what you charge, but do you charge any extra for 360 within your management agreement?
We
Or not
don't.
really? No.
And the reason being, and we definitely could. We're a new business. I think that it's something that I definitely will probably implement in the next year. But our thing has just been growth. And to be honest, my argument is yes, I pay for AI, I pay for 360 and everything, but I also pay a lot less in labor. So it all comes out in the wash anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like it's really
Yeah.
not. I actually don't think that I am spending any more money. In fact, I'm saving more money, in my opinion, than most agents. If any other agency hasn't got this, they're actually spending more money than I am. So you're saying, oh, do you charge for that? No, I don't. But like, it's actually not costing me more, but I actually could because it's a better service.
Yeah, fantastic. I think that's pretty much it. We could actually really go on forever, couldn't we?
I could show you the
Oh,
exit.
the exit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. Was it this one?
Yeah, I believe
How
so.
do I get the 360 to go with this?
Slide it where the, yeah.
Where?
So anyone that, before we join this webinar, see the little arrow in the middle, like to the left of your columns? Like, yeah, there's a little arrow below where you can see where the camera is positioned. Up, yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you can see.
This got me to my OCD twitch. I was like, your alignment's out, but we've got auto align now in the entry versus exit. As long as you put the camera where we tell you to put the camera, we'll auto align it. It's just a little bit out.
Look,
Does my OCD, but
there we go. This is better for you. You can see,
yeah,
look, you can
way
see
better.
everything. You can see that mark was there before. It's so good. The blinds in better condition.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Fantastic. But yeah, those lawns are, yeah, someone needs to turn on the retake.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see out the back. Oh no, didn't get that one. The exterior. Oh, maybe we didn't get AI. Oh well, but yes, that's what it does.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, well, I appreciate it, Robin. I don't see that we had any questions. If anyone did have any questions, maybe we can ask any questions while we go through now. But I think we just covered how you couldn't have lived without it throughout that growth phase within your business, reducing your costs and outsourcing, and just getting through that. And as I said, the 2-for-1 deal. When you're a new business, you know, you're kind of trying to capture as many managers as you can. And Perth actually has a really large metro area, almost 100 kilometers to 200 kilometers in what we would take on as a metro area. So, you know, utilizing those marketing tours when you're already out there to do the property condition report, just saving you, again, labor costs and fuel, getting to those leasing and getting those landlords that maximum return. I think that was probably the best tip out of that. And yes, I'm glad that we could assist in helping you resolve that issue with the court issue. We were all a little bit nervy because, as we know, WA magistrates are never consistent. So it was good that that helped along that line. And yeah, basically just thank you, Robin. I don't think I've seen any questions pop through. Can you see any? No.
No questions.
No,
all good.
Questions. But yes, reach out to us. You can follow actually Robin at Loop Leasing and also to myself, the OCD PM or Inspection Express. If you have any further questions, always reach out. We're happy to help.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Robin.
See ya.